Hello, hello friends. Welcome. I'm Robin with Zimmy's Simple Designs. If you see the little red live light, you caught me live. If you're not, you're watching the replay. Please type in hashtag replay. Say hello. Tell me where you're watching from. Let me know if you're new. I apologize, guys. My phone fell out. So I had to readjust. So you're coming on at the very beginning. I apologize if I'm making you dizzy. Oh, that's the problem. My whole phone thing's stand. Okay, hang on, guys. Sorry. There we go. Thought something was funky. All right. I apologize, friends. Hopefully I've got it. Let me know if I'm still not in the... If I'm still all wonky. All right. Coming on at the very beginning. All right. How is everybody? Hi, Yachty. How are you today? I hope it still looks crooked, but I hate still messing with it because I'm afraid I'm going to lose it again. All right. I'm Robin. Okay. I'm all set. Okay. Well, I'm not sure that I personally am set, Yachty, but I'm in the group. I might be there, or you might be able to see me, but that's good. Thank you for putting me in the group. I appreciate it. And thank you for having me. I am in an event today with Yachty's Workshop and Friends. I am Robin with Zimmy's Simple Designs. If you see the red live light, you've caught me live. If not, you're watching the replay. Please type in hashtag replay. Say hello. Sorry, guys. I'm behind the times. Usually I say that right at the very beginning, but my phone fell and I had to start all over. So thanks all for joining me. This is Yachty's Workshop and Friends event today. Miss Angie was up from Artsy Angie. She was up just before me. And Miss Grace with Grace Faithful Creations, aka the Pouncy Bling Queen. She will be up after me. And it's just going to be a wonderful event. It's crafter's choice, so who knows what you're going to see today. Angie was painting a really pretty floral picture, and I did see some of Renee. She made a really pretty sign with the guitar on it. That was nice. Hi, Colleen. How are you today? But today we are going to make... I'm jumping on the bandwagon with the popsicles. We're going to make some popsicles today. I've got 3 of them here. And we're going to tape them or paint them all differently. Man, I can't even talk. We're going to paint them all a little different, patriotic. But you could paint these any way you want. And then I've got some popsicle sticks. Now, this is a new wood kit. I'm offering, and you would get the set of 3 popsicles and the 3 sticks. So if you guys are interested, hi Grace, hi Yvonne, how are you? Hi Angie, thanks guys. Hi Ruby. So this hour has been a challenge. An hour before I was supposed to go on, I lost Wi-Fi. So I am freaking out. And it took like a half an hour to come up, and I was panicking because I didn't want to cancel. And then I lost track of time. Then my phone fell out. So it's been quite a whirlwind around here. Hi, Ruby. Hi, Roseanne. How are you, sweet friend? Anyway, so we're going to, hopefully I can take a breath now. It all worked out. So we're going to paint these patriotic. So I also have this little wooden star. I haven't decided if I'm going to put this on one of them or not. But we're going to paint them up patriotic. I have this stencil we're going to use, I think, on one of them. Anyway, take a breath now, right? So let's see. We'll paint the easy one. Hi, Sam. How are you? We're going to paint, and I'm going to be using... Really? Really? Could anything else happen to me? Okay. I'll give you guys the laugh of the day, right? As they say, the what not to do. All right, all of the paint I'm going to be using, if I can hang on to it, is from Nicole with a Frayed Knot. And we're going to use Blue Jay and Red Barn and Vintage Lace. And all of these are chalk paints from Nicole with a Frayed Knot. She makes her own chalk paint line. If you guys are interested, if you just hit the little chain down there at the bottom by mine. Hi, Gina. Hi, Diane. Just hit the little chain down there by the comments, and I have it linked in there. And it'll take you directly to the paint. So if I can, hey, Denny, how are you? Thank you for sprinkling, Angie. I didn't even get a chance. That is true, Melinda. It could be bad. That could have been bad. That could have been bad. So I guess I upside, right? The upside. It wasn't open. Wow. I was having a pretty good day till then. Although, no, not really, because I went to use some spray adhesive. I couldn't get the lid off of it because it was like glued shut. When I finally got the lid off of it, I bumped the spray nozzle, broke it off, tried to get it back on, and all I did was spray adhesive all over my hand. So my hand was all sticky. Hi, Shannon. How is everybody? Thanks for popping in and spending some time with me. Get a good laugh. Get a good laugh. Oh my. Yeah, good. My husband's just shaking his head at me when that happened. He tried to take it out in his shop. I said, well, no. I said, I think I got to throw it away. He says, no, let me see. He took it out to his shop. He couldn't get it back on there, so it had to go in the trash. So I guess that's been my day today. So, but this is a pretty blue. I like this blue. But these could be fun. I was debating on, in fact, I printed some things. I was going to use some prints on these, only nothing printed out right. Hi, Amy. One of them, it printed and it looked like it was pink. And then red, white, I want the bottom half. And I've marked this off because we're going to do it red, white, and blue. Hi, Dan. How are you today? But I printed it and it looked pink instead of red. So I was like, well, I really don't want I want a red and white stripe, not pink and white stripe. I don't know why it did that, other than I was using mulberry paper, and mulberry paper is kind of thin, and it just didn't. And the image was kind of a faded image. So I don't know. I'd never had that happen before. Yes, I did put a line, but I'm not getting this perfect. So how is everybody's weekend going so far? Anybody got big plans for tomorrow? We don't. We're not doing much. How's Miss Yvonne doing? I don't know if she's still here. How's your knee doing, friend? Are you still doing okay with pain? I know that the pain was pretty minimal, so I know you would. I know you would, Denny. That's just right up your alley, pink. That's your favorite color. You would have loved, you'd have been all over that. All right, so now we've got that one. Now this one I'm going to do red and white, so we don't need any more blue. So I'm going to I put way too much blue out here. Hi, Denise. How are you? Let's see, we'll use this paintbrush. I don't like wasting my paint, so I'm gonna put this back real quick. So I've got a couple more. I missed, I think it was Christine. I missed her live, so I got to go back and watch her replay. But I have been watching quietly. I like I said, I was in and out of Renee's, but I did get to see her sign. We're going to try this real quick. Sorry, this is so loud, guys. Home alone all the time. That's okay. It's nice to see the sunshine today here. Again, it's actually a pretty nice day today, but I think we might get some rain. But I'm not sure if we will or not, which is fine. Tomorrow my husband's going to be grilling. So other than that, we're not really got any plans for tomorrow. I don't want to pour a lot of red. And I like these colors. They're kind of my go-to for red, white, and blue. But bright red, bright blue, if you like that, would be nice. If you like that, I go more towards kind of vintage when I pick out my paint colors, or more muted. I'm not really much into bright, but these could be done anyway. Like I said, you could use prints, you could use scrapbook paper. That was my other thought, was to do scrapbook paper, but I couldn't find anything I liked that I had on hand. So we went with paint. We're going with paint. Hi, Melinda. Cloudy and cool in Indiana. Thunderstorms there. Yeah. Like I said, I'm not sure if we're supposed to get, I'm just trying to remember if we were supposed to get rain tomorrow or not. It's been in the forecast for, but I don't. And this one I've taped off. So we're going to do some red and white stripes on this one. And I just went too far on that top part, but that's okay. I'm not too much into perfection, so I just kind of wanted an idea of where I wanted these, so they were fairly straight by masking it off. So what's everybody been up to besides watching the event today? Hi, Louise. How are you? It should be a fun rest of the event. I'm hoping to catch some more people. But my husband may have a job. He had to go do some measurements yesterday. A gentleman he used to work with called him and asked him if he could come over and give him some ideas. He's doing some work, or he's been working on his house, doing some remodel work. And he's been having issues with his closets. Rained here this morning, but I think the sun's... Oh, is it? I'm doing good. Yeah, so do I, Roseanne. Americana colors. I like those. But he went over yesterday and took measurements, and now he's got to come up with some ideas for the gentleman of some, you know, what they could do with it. I think it's a closet in their bedroom. So he went over and took some measurements, and he's been well, right now he's helping the neighbor man, but then he's going to draw some patterns up of ideas, and then he's supposed to go over and he's going to go over and show him and see what they think and let them pick. But I met I've met this gentleman. I met him a while back, and I met his wife, and she's a very sweet lady. But it was funny because my husband mentioned, I'd forgot that I'd met her until he mentioned something to me the other night, and then I remembered meeting her, and I said to him, I said, she's a really sweet lady. I remember meeting her. Well, I guess when he went over yesterday, she was home, and she remembered meeting me, and she said, yeah, I remember meeting your wife. She's a very sweet lady. And my husband laughed because he says, you know, that's funny you should say that, because my wife said the same thing about you. Oh, I just wiped my comments. Getting things ready to go. Upcoming. Ooh, Angie, sounds like fun. Where are you going on your cruise? I've never been. I always wanted to go on a cruise. I told my husband I would love to go on a cruise. My cruise I would love to go on would be a cruise of the Hawaiian Islands. I would always thought that would be fun. I don't know why there specifically, but I always thought that would be a fun trip. But that may never happen. Hi, Mandy. How are you? The Virgin Islands. Ooh. Have you been on a cruise before, Angie, or is this your first one? We have my mom and dad, when they were together, went on a couple of cruises. And I know one, I think they went, it was Catalina. It was your 50. Oh, how nice. What a sweetie. How nice for you. Okay, I'm gonna use my dryer again. So guys, if you want to turn your sound down, I know this is really loud. And I'm going to make sure this is dry, and then we'll peel the tape off. And we'll add our white or our vintage lace. And I'm going to go ahead and, like I said, I'm not sure if I'm going to use this star, but I am going to go ahead and paint it. And I don't know that I probably won't tape this again. I'll just do the best I can and paint, just to save from having to have you guys sit and watch me tape that off. Oh, I am doing good. I'm sorry you're tired. I did sleep better last night, but I'm still tired, and I think it's because for 2 nights I didn't sleep well at all. You love cruising in a car, but not on a boat, Yvonne. Your 7th cruise? Ooh. All right. And hopefully I have enough of this. If not, I don't need a whole lot, so hopefully there's enough here. Not, I guess it'll be what it is, right? It'll be what it'll be what it'll be, right? I have some milk jug. It's fairly close to this same color, so we'll make it work. We'll make it work. We will make it work. I think my daughter has her daughters this weekend. We haven't heard from them. We usually hear from them on the weekends that she has them, unless they're busy. And a lot of times they try and go do fun things on the weekends when they have her. Oh, thank you. I finally did them the other night. Actually, just yesterday. I got lazy. And I finally decided I needed to do them. Hi, Renee. How are you? Your door hanger turned out cute. So anybody gonna be barbecuing over the weekend? Like I said, I'm gonna have my husband do some steaks tomorrow. Hopefully the weather will be, of course, our grill he can move it into his shop, so it's not a big deal if it's raining. Oh, that other thing my husband was telling me, because this gentleman that he's going to be doing these drawings up redid their kitchen. And when my husband was on the fire department where we used to live, he made a table for their fire department. He built a metal frame that they had a sign. Reeling out later, Diane. We lived in a very small community, and when you used to enter into the city limits, there was a big sign, and the city replaced it, and the fire department wanted it, and what they did is they turned the sign into a table, a big, like, they had it in their, not really their kitchen, it was where they would hold their board meetings and things. And my husband had to make a metal frame for it. And then they set that sign down in there, and then they put a glass top over it. Well, this gentleman, when he did their kitchen, he did the same thing. He built a metal frame, and then they had a granite top put down in it for his kitchen, and it was in an L shape. Well, when my husband went back over yesterday, he took pictures of it. It was very pretty. Well, I kind of cheat, Renee, or Rose. Mine are, yeah. I cheat. I buy the glue-on. No, I'm not that talented. But they work. They work. All right, I'm trying to hurry and get this painted, guys. And then we're going to do a little sanding. And I'm just kind of following along. I don't care that they're not going to be perfect, that I'm not going to get this perfect, but I mostly put the tape because I wanted to make sure I got it fairly divided the way I wanted for the stripes, if that makes any sense. And I probably should have found a paintbrush that would about fit right down in there. But why would I do that and make it easy for myself, right? Why would I do that? Hi, Tona. How are you today? And I know I don't say your name right. And I think I asked. Has anybody been crafting over the weekend? I did a few things yesterday. I had an order that I did for a lady. I'm glad you're doing good. Went to church this morning. It was good, you know. Tona, okay, cool. Well, I thought we talked about it one other time, and I'm not good with names anymore, and it's like trying to remember people's names. And you know, I used to be really good at remembering people's names when I was younger, and gosh, the older I get, the harder it is to remember. See, these aren't perfect, but that's okay. To me, I embrace the imperfection. Hi, Teresa. How are you today? I didn't see you pop in. All right, one last stripe. And I don't know if I'm going to have enough white here. I'm trying not to get it on my hands and then, of course, stick my hands in the red, because that would be something I would do. Anybody go to the movie? I know there was some big movies that came out this weekend. Anybody go? We aren't movie. Well, I like to go to the movies, but my husband doesn't like to. He says it's, yeah. He thinks it's a big waste of money, so we don't go to the movies. I remember when we were dating, and even after we were married, the little town where we lived was not very big. Like I said, it was really little. Thank you, Yvonne. Hi, Glenda. How are you? Anyway, there was a walk-in theater and then a drive-in theater. And the same people, the same family that owned the walk-in theater also ran the drive-in theater. And of course, it was cold where we lived in Arizona. So the drive-in theater, of course, would be closed during the winter. It was only open through the summer. And I'm going to see if I can scrounge just a little bit more paint out of here. But this theater, it cost you $2.50 to get in. And of course I did. I got white on the red. Right there. But I might be able to sand that, so. And then it's still, I mean, for like $5 you could see a movie. Well, actually a little more than $5 if we went together. But for about $10, we could see a movie, have popcorn and a soda. If that. And so we used to go a lot. But it was the only thing really to do there. And I don't have enough for the star, I don't think. Let's see. I might be able to squeak enough out for it. Hi, Susan. And anyway, but the nice thing about it was the movie, you could see one movie Sunday, Monday, Tuesday. The theater was closed on Wednesday, and then Thursday, Friday, Saturday, there was a new movie that came. So you could go twice a week and see 2 different movies. And there wasn't a whole lot of entertainment there where we lived. So a lot of times we went to the movies. But now he don't like to go. It's gotten too outrageously priced, and he says, which I understand that it is. It's a little much anymore. But there we go. I think I can get enough to get this little star. I'm not going to worry about getting full coverage because I'm going to stand it anyway. Hi, Betsy. How are you? Thank you for sprinkling. Guys, I appreciate you being here, especially on a holiday weekend. I know a lot of people are busy with their families and all of the things, but all right, we got enough on there. But I think we've drained it. Yes, they have, Glenda, I agree. I agree. Make sure that's all dry. So here's our little popsicles. Oops. And I'm not going to paint the sticks. So, and I'm not going to have enough white. So we're just going to, milk jug will work. We'll use some milk jug. It'll be close enough. So I'm going to use this stencil, and we're going to put stars on our blue one here. And this stencil came out of this package of stencils. It's a little tag for little tags from Essential Stencil. And I am an affiliate with them. And that is, if you want the link, it's in my link tree. And if you do want to go and check it out or order, make sure you use my code. And you can get 10% off. And my code is Zimmies. And I should have put that in my description, but I forgot. But it's ZIMMIES, all capitals. No, R Zimmies, all together, all capital, 22, no spaces. And I can put that information in the comments of the video. So I got a paper plate out here. I don't know how many of you have ever seen anybody stencil. So I got a brush, and this brush is probably too big. Hi, Valerie. Yes, I did, Valerie. They're one of my new little wood kits. I'm offering these as the set of 3 with the sticks. I thought they would be fun. So I'm just going to kind of lay this up here. I have another set of stars, but I just thought they were too big. And I don't like them so close together. So we're going to use this one. It's a little more, I don't know. They're probably just as close, but I think I like that they're some are small, some are little. Yes, they are, Susan. They are wonderful. So I'm just gonna tap my brush, stencil brush, in the lid of my paint, and then I'm gonna work that paint up into the brush. Make sure I got enough here. I'm trying to do this so you guys can see. We're gonna work it up in there, and then I'm gonna offload, because you want a very dry brush when you stencil. And I don't know how well this is going to work, because there is, I don't know if you can see, there's some indentation in that. So we're going to see how this is going to work. I'm probably just going to have to I may pounce right in here. And I'm not going to worry about getting full coverage. Normally I would swirl, but because of that indentation, I don't want to get my brush up under the stencil and get bleed. So we're going to do it this way. Like that. So I like that. And then I'm going to move it down. And actually I might, yeah, we're going to move it down. That's probably dry, but we're going to hit it with the dryer just in case. Hi, Michelle. A cow fence. Your resting period. Okay. Well, be careful putting your fence up. Sounds like a lot of work. And I'm just kind of sliding this down. I think I'm going to go down just a little bit more. And we're going to do the same. I'm going to get some paint on there. Work it up in there. And we're going to pounce. Just like that. So I like that. Hi, Criselda. And I'm going to take, there's some really tiny ones. So I thought, well, maybe I'll add a few, oops, to the side here. Put one right there. Get some more paint here. Just a few. Maybe like that. Along the edge. Let's see, I'm going to hold this kind of like that. And these aren't perfect, guys. I don't, like I said, I just kind of want to add just a little bit along this edge here. Just so it's a little more not so plain along that edge. I don't think I'm going to get a big one. Maybe we can do like this one. Hang on a minute. I'll flip this. This guy right here. And this is a little more challenging because that edge isn't very big, but we're getting there. Just take your time. And all around. Let's see, maybe we can get maybe a half one. And a couple more little small ones right here. There. So I got it along the edge there and then the front. And it goes well enough. I mean, it matches. You can't really, with it being a stencil, you can't really tell the difference in the color. So, all right. I'm going to make sure this is good and dry, and then we're going to sand. Give them a little distressing. All right. So I've got my gator sander. Our Fort Dodge here. My husband's excited. Our Dairy Queen shut down here in town, and a while back. Well, we just found out that they're building one right, and it was more on the outs. It was out by the highway, but it was not like right here by us. Well, we just found out that they're going to be building a Dairy Queen right here near us. My husband's excited. He's excited. He's a Dairy Queen guy. He loves Dairy Queen. He should. After all, he met me there. Hi, Debbie. How are you? How have you been? He should be. He used to come in when I worked at the Dairy Queen. He used to come in there all the time and eat. But he was a bachelor. He didn't know how to cook. And he lived at Dairy Queen. He lived at Dairy Queen. I'm just kind of toning this, giving it some distressing. I love it. Love it, love it. And I'm not going to take off as much. Oh, thank you, Debbie. This is, for the popsicles, Griselda, it is actually trim. We picked out we went to Menards and I picked out a trim that kind of emulated. Originally, I was going to have them cut them out. Out of some pine, and my husband said, well, you know, if you want that more of that popsicle kind of look, he says, you know, they make a trim that you could. So we went to Menards and I found this trim to use, and it does, it works perfect. And in fact, I even found the popsicle stick, stir sticks. They were with the stir sticks. These were with like the paint stir sticks. Right there in the paint section. I got those at Menards too. So all of my supplies for these are there. So I even like that we kind of distress those stars a little more. But like I said, you could do these anyway. I mean, you could have fun with these. You wouldn't have to you could do them in colors. My husband says you could even make a fudgesicle. I mean, just a lot of different ways you can do them. Hi, Susan. How have you been? All right. Love it. When are you moving, Shannon? Hi, Julie. Or have you started moving? I know you've been packing. All right. Get all that dust off of these guys. And then we're going to put them together. You're doing good. My pup had it. Oh. Oh. Well, hopefully she heals up well from it. Prayers for your puppy. Well, let me sand this little star. I was thinking to put this little star on the red, white, and blue one. Okay, let me clean this off. I have a washboard. It's kind of a smaller one that I got. And I've been racking my brain. I want to do something with it. And I've been having a tough time coming up with something. Next weekend, well, I hope it all goes well for you. Hopefully this is going to be a good move for you guys. All right. So let's bring these back over here. Or that was my thought anyway, was to add this little star to this one. Although that may blend in. So maybe we'll put it on the, I don't know. Maybe I should have painted it gold. The star. I've got another one, so I guess I could paint it gold and add it. All right, we're going to wax these up. Give them a little more distressing. Oh my goodness. Oh, I bet. Well, I hope she recovers from it. That sounds bad for her. Hopefully she's not in too much pain. I'll bet the hard part is getting her to rest, especially if she's pretty active. All right. Do this edge just a little. And I was gonna, and these are really, this would probably fit on a tier tray, in a dough bowl. You could put them on a hanger. Oh, thank you guys. Guys, I am in an event today with Yachty's Workshop and Friends. The link for the group, Yachty's Workshop and Friends, is in the description. You guys want to join. It's a free group to join, and you can stay in that group. See our next presenter, Miss Grace, with Grace Faithful Creations, aka the Pouncy Bling Queen. And if you like bling, she's your girl. You need to check her out. She likes her bling. Okay, but we have to keep her calm. She's a black lab. Yeah, I'll bet. Yep. And I want to thank Miss Yachty, who's our hostess from Yachty's Workshop, for inviting me, or letting me be a part of this event. And it is Crafter's Choice today, so we're going to get to see a lot of different fun creations today. Thank you, Glenda. All right. I'm just kind of hitting the edge. All right, there we go. And I don't know. I hit this little high point right here, on here, where I sanded. if you missed the people before me, you can also go in the group, Yachty's Workshop and Friends, and see the replays. And you can see replays from past events in there. So there's a lot of wonderful talent. So I've not decided now on that star. Like I said, I may paint a gold one. So we're gonna, now you can make this stick as long or as short as you like. But basically that's about it. I do have some of this red ticking that I've coffee grunged, and I think I may just make, I did one. I just tied a simple little bow to add at the bottom of our popsicles just to kind of dress them up. And I'm going to go down, and I know I could probably cut these, but I'm not going to. But you guys could cut them down. But for time right now, I'm just going to kind of add my tight bond and my stick fast. Yeah, they would, Yachty, they would be cute for a tier tray. And I'm just going to center that back up on there and hold it a minute. And these are a little bigger than a craft stick that you get at Hobby Lobby. And I tried to put one and it didn't look right. I think this bigger one, and like I said, the sticks do come with the kit. So there's one of our popsicles. And I'm just gonna kind of eyeball it. Here. And I'm gonna lay this down. Like that. Thanks, guys. Don't see the kit. Yeah, Denny, I haven't put it in my thing. If you want one, just private message me. If you guys do want to order one, they're $12 plus shipping. I don't have a website. Just private message me, and we will get a set cut for you. But no, I haven't put them in my album yet. But I will be. I usually wait until after I've done them on a live before I put them in there. And there's our second one. Hey, Peggy. How are you feeling today? You doing good? Are you having a good day? You're welcome. All right, Denny. Yeah, just private message me your email and your complete address, and we'll get you one cut. All right, there we go. Valerie, thank you guys. These have been really popular this year, and I thought, what a cute idea. And this will dry, this glue back here will dry clear. So there's our 3 popsicles all done, but yeah, the possibilities, aren't those just the sweetest? I love them. Love them. And then, like I said, I'm gonna, and I didn't turn my glue gun on, but I'll plug it in real quick. It'll take me a bit. Well, you have a wonderful afternoon too. You're welcome. I love doing your events are so much fun, Yadi, and I thank you and appreciate you and all the work you do. Yeah, good enough to eat. Yeah, they do. This one, of course, reminds you of the, what is it, the bomb pop? So, like I said, I think I'm just going to tie this little ticking and put just a little bow, something really simple. I do have a tag, and I think maybe on one of them, I'm just going to put the little tag with USA or something. But these are, I think they're the great size for a dough bowl, your tiered tray. I mean, just in a little vignette, I think would be great. Just fun. I think they're fun. I love them. But I think, like I said, I was going to put the star, but I think it blends too much. What do you guys think? You think it looks okay with the white, or you think I need to go yellow or gold? I have one painted, but it's too big. But this, maybe I can kind of show you so you could compare. This is the gold I was thinking to do. Maybe paint one of these gold. Thank you, Glenda. What do you guys think? Gold or the white? I think the gold would kind of pop more. I know the stars are usually white, but I'm just thinking it would kind of pop and not blend, you know what I mean? But I've got some more here. What did I do with them? Oh yeah, I had brought these down to put on another project and then wound up not using them for it. Let's see, my gold nugget here. That's what color this is. And I know I normally stain this, but it'll be all right. We'll go ahead and paint it. Well, I already have, yeah, I could add the wax on there, and let's see. I just sanded it. Add some wax to it. Thank you, Mandy. I don't have any gold wax. I have some gold rub and buff. I could do, there we go. That might help it pop right there. I added some wax to it. Let's see. That might look a little better. Yeah, that's a little better. It shows up a little better since I've waxed it. All right, thank you, Danny. I will go get that taken care of. Thank you. Yeah, that does help it. Waxing it helped it kind of pop a little better. So I think we'll stick with the white one. So I'm gonna have to get a little, because let me see, a little popsicle stick, because that's not gonna lay flat. I'm gonna have to take a little popsicle stick here and glue it to the back of that star so I can glue it on there. Yeah, better. Hey, Kim. So we'll glue this on here. real quick. And then I'll add it to my back of my star. And then I'll add it to my maybe a bit more on the blue part. All right. Now that'll glue there. Because of that being raised right there, it wasn't going to lay flat. But yeah, that looks good. I like that. I like it. I like it a lot. These were fun. Just something fun, different, you know. All right. We'll save that little. I don't think my glue gun is hot enough yet. Since I would have to say that this glue gun that I got from Refab, it seems to take forever to warm up. And I forgot to, for some reason I was sitting here thinking I needed to plug it, and then I thought, no, I don't need to plug it in. I won't need it for anything. And then forgot I was going to add the little bows on here. Thank you, Susan. Hey, Jessica, how are you? So I'm going to fold, I tore a couple more pieces, and I just did a simple shoestring bow. All right, guys, make sure you stick around in Yachty's Workshop and Friends to see Miss Grace and see what projects she does, especially if you like your bling, because she's up next. Just hit refresh. Make sure you join the free group. It is free, and stick around. The event goes until late today. And you guys have a wonderful Memorial Day. Stay safe. And you guys have a wonderful, blessed rest of your day. Bye.